Research changes everything. It shapes how we live, how we work, and how we face the biggest challenges of our time. I'm shining a light on life-changing research and innovation across the nation, like the S-Press. Physiotherapy is an essential part of getting well. It's important for rehabilitation and if patients have been stuck in bed for a long time. But what if patients could continue rebuilding strength safely on their own in between physiotherapy sessions? Could that mean a better outcome for patients and hospitals? Let's find out. Meet Jennifer Turner, a Sheffield-based physiotherapist who turned a moment in a treatment session into a device designed to accelerate rehabilitation, even for the frailest of patients. I've never actually had a physio before, so what do you do?
Basically, a physio gets people moving. So if somebody's got a bad leg, we need to get their range of movement going in their joints, but also get their strength back. So you can use your own body resistance for that. Put your foot against my shoulder and now you push down, and I'm using my resistance to resist you.
So this is how the S-Press was born?
A patient said, "This is good for me, but this must be hurting you." And at that point, we started talking about what other options were available. There was nothing that I could find.
Wow.
So that's how the S-Press kind of came to life.
At its core, the S-Press is very straightforward. A footplate to push against, adjustable resistance to build strength, and a compact frame that keeps everything stable.
This is helpful for people in hospital if they are deconditioned from being at home. If we can get them started early with their rehabilitation and using this to help strengthen the muscles, then you get a better outcome for the patient. Do you want it on full power?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, you're on 21 kilos. Go on.
I can feel my muscles working, but it's so low impact.
The patients can see how many repetitions they're doing. So they can see that they're actually improving in their strength.
Yeah.
So you get that kind of agency over their kind of rehabilitation, and you get that kind of psychological benefit, which is so important because that's half the battle.
Jen's hands-on experience showed her just how much of a difference the S-Press could make, not only for her own patients, but the wider healthcare community. And sometimes, the best ideas start with whatever's to hand.
This is my husband's Technic Lego. We've used hair bubbles from my daughters on the sides for the resistance and plasters, obviously, to kind of create the leg rest. And it is a proof of concept.
Your husband's Lego, your daughter's hairbands, so it's
Yeah.
a real family effort.
So the whole process has taken probably more than 10 years to go from this to the final version. Only about 3% of innovations get actually into the NHS, so you need an awful lot of support, and that's what I've had from everybody and all the collaborators.
Jen knew she was onto something, but the resistance mechanism was only half the battle. Meet Nick Hamilton, a research fellow at Sheffield Hallam University's Advanced Wellbeing and Research Centre.
So Jen came with the idea and the requirements. We then evolved the designs together iteratively. So lots of sketching, lots of chatting, lots of bringing our ideas together before creating some prototypes.
So this leg rest was actually the one that was used in the original clinical trial.
Okay.
And the feedback all went back into the redesign of this.
It's that interface between the patient and the device, and making sure that as wide a range of people as possible are as comfortable as possible so they can perform all the reps they can to get the resistance exercise they need.
Patients' needs and their feedback were critical to the design of the S-Press, but its potential impact goes far beyond individual recovery. I'm about to meet Doreen Caesar, a specialist physiotherapist at the Northamptonshire Healthcare NHS Foundation Trust. Hi Doreen.
Hi Zoe, thank you for calling.
Doreen is using the S-Press with patients in the community. So what impact is it having?
I think for patients who are staying home, it could be one of the things that will stop them from going back to hospital, because they are going to increase the strength in their limbs, and then that will lead on to the other things that they are able to do.
Has the S-Press made a difference to you and your team?
If we have patients who can use this machine independently at home, it releases us to see more patients.
Talk to me a little about the impact that it has on people's mental health.
So for anybody who works in the community, they will tell you, if you go into a patient's house and they are able to do something, they just beam with joy.
It's amazing to see that the S-Press is having such an impact.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
It's been great to meet you. Thank you so much. Jen is visiting Lindsay, who lives with multiple sclerosis and is using the S-Press at home. For some people like Lindsay, the S-Press isn't about a cure or recovery. It's about maintaining strength, preserving movement where she can, and that's making a real difference to her well-being.
One of the good things about it is I can see my progress because, I record every week how much I've done and what weight. I can see that I'm doing more reps with it, and also when I'm able to put up the resistance. Before, I wasn't able to lift my legs off the bed at all, and now I can raise my right knee up on its own. So much of having a progressive illness is about loss, and this is about getting something back.
Wonderful. Exactly why I made it. Yeah.
The S-Press began with Jen, shaped by what she'd seen firsthand as a physiotherapist. Devices for Dignity, part of the National Institute for Health and Care Research, supported its development, helping to test and refine it so that it met a real clinical need.
What we quite often see, particularly with inventors and companies, is that the proposed solution has come first rather than actually the unmet need and what patients need. But Jen had seen firsthand the problems that patients were often facing.
What impact could the S-Press have on the healthcare system?
Having that early rehab gives people the confidence and also the kind of clinical ability to be able to move and walk sooner.
It very much will have high impact in social care settings, in residential care homes, and actually in patients' own homes when they're discharged from hospital and they can continue their rehabilitation at home.
So the ripple effect could be substantial.
Yes, absolutely.
The S-Press doesn't replace physiotherapy, it strengthens it. By helping patients rebuild strength earlier and more consistently, it supports recovery and could ease pressure on health services. What's remarkable is that this innovation wasn't born in a lab. It began with Jen listening to her patients, noticing a problem and deciding to do something about it. And sometimes that's where real change starts.